All right, everybody, welcome back to the Titans table for two in the two-tone blue. That's Andrew,
And that's Christian.
and we're coming to you today for the latest Titans news this week. And it's starting to heat up a little bit. First, we want to shout out CPN, Curtis Podcast Network, for having us on. Happy to be here. Check everything they got going on out. They got general sports talk. We're actually getting into a wrestling channel over there for a couple of guys. Got a channel for almost any team you're looking for or looking to fill that spot. So go check them out. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us, comment down below, add to the discussion. We out here, baby. We're gonna see you guys at Titans practices and stuff this year. So, uh, but yeah, just getting into it. Some of the first stuff to talk about is just general league news. If you want to get into it,
Absolutely. I think there's a lot going on. I mean, between the people being released and asking for trades and being traded, and whether it's Joey Bosa got released by the Chargers, so they don't have Bosa
yeah,
or Khalil Mack going in next year now. DK Metcalf requested trade. Trey Hendrickson requested a trade.
yeah, I saw those
Uh,
just before I got on here with you. Actually,
Seahawks released Tyler Lockett. The Jaguars released Evan Ingram, and they were about to release Christian Kirk, but ended up trading him to the Texans. So just all kinds of stuff going
yeah.
on. Everybody fueling up for free agency is going to start here in a few days. So a lot going on. And
Yeah,
all that
everything's
said,
gonna be cooking up here soon, man. I'm ready to get this train rolling, dude. I know they call this like the boring part of the season, but I love off season,
oh
man.
yeah,
I always get excited, man. Like it's even though it was a tough season, man, I get excited for things to start rolling and looking to see how the new year is gonna be shaped and what the team's gonna look like. So this is exciting.
out of all those, I would love to get Trey Hendrickson. Dude led the league in sacks last year.
Hmm.
Getting top tier edge talent is not easy. Even if you were to take Abdul Carter, like you don't know what he does.
Yeah,
Trey Hendrickson is that dude. You know, I don't know what it would
yeah.
take to get him. Obviously, you have to pay him, but I mean, if you're getting that kind of production, makes it worth it.
And especially, if it's expected that Landry won't be with the team as well.
Mm,
That's another one but yeah, I think I agree with that. A DK Metcalf is always a sexy name. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like you
yeah,
hear that. I saw that today, and your ears kind of always perk up, and "Roo?"
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Anytime you
but
got a playmaker like that,
yeah, yeah. Rush is definitely the big need, though. Obviously for the Titans and stuff. But one thing I will mention in news that I was kind of happy to hear, and this is no disrespect. I don't know why I always feel like I need to preface everything when I'm giving criticism or saying something negative, but the Titans seem to be out on Sam Darnold. All reports, Paul Koharski tweeting on that.
mhm.
Uh, and that makes me happy to hear. I know there was talk earlier in the week. I had some notes, for us this week where we were going to talk about kind of some articles and reports that Brian Callahan kind of was in on a Sam Darnold, and I was
Nah,
just
I'm you
not.
look at
I'm at a loss for words, man, because I'm so out on that decision. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I get why. Maybe that the thought is that he'd rather bank his job on a Sam Darnold than a rookie quarterback or Will Levis, right?
mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really in on it at all. Um,
hmm.
the history says he's not a good quarterback. He had an outlier year. This year was the outlier, not the
Hmm.
all the bad seasons before that.
He's also got a very good coach and was on a very good team.
Yeah, a
You
lot of
know.
weapons, a lot of
Hmm.
weapons. So they were able to get it for a shorter, cheaper deal, then maybe I'm not
Yeah.
giving up 40 million for Sam Darnold
Hmm.
on the Titans. So
And
if you
that's
get some,
essentially the gist of the tweet and the report was that maybe if it was for a shorter commitment for a cheaper deal, then maybe. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that because I think you'd be hard pressed to find any Titans fan that would be excited about a Sam Darnold
I
coming
don't
to
know, you see
Tennessee.
something out there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I just I'm out on that. And then after that, I guess if you are going quarterback and you're not, I mean, some people think Will Levis will maybe still compete for the starting job, but you know, I'm thinking maybe there's a trade out there for him somewhere or something
Yeah,
possibly still. But I'm in more on like a Jameis Winston or a Joe Flacco or a Mac Jones than I am a Sam Darnold.
yeah, I agree. I
And
love
I
Mac
think
Jones.
I know you'd love that. Could you imagine if we drafted Shador Sanders and brought in Jameis Winston
It'd be
as
amazing.
a veteran?
The memes alone would be amazing.
What? Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole like feeling around this team, man, would just change, right?
We make
Like,
everybody smile at the very least. Like,
yeah, it would just be a whole different vibe around the entire team. Uh, but yeah,
even
so
Cam and James would be funny because Cam is so
yeah,
like
Cam Ward, absolutely.
ill and like James
It
like,
would be it would be
come on,
great, man. It
Cam.
would be a great
Like,
time, yeah.
we gotta be strong, like
So,
four
and
legs
that
in the
might be
chair.
something that you could
Yeah.
use on this team, man. A little bit
Yeah,
of fun and excitement.
yeah,
Good
absolutely.
grief, like they make it hard to be a Titans fan sometimes, man. I love them to death, like, but
But what I would do
yeah,
for
I
this
think
team
I've
to win a Super Bowl.
yeah, and just after this last year, man, I don't think anybody wants to overpay Sam Darnold, man. It just
No,
doesn't
I don't
seem,
either.
so. I don't know. I'm out on that. Like I've said before, I'm kind of worried to not take a quarterback this year, one of those two guys, because I feel like one or both of them could be really good players in this league.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, free agency starting up in a few days. One of the big news that came out was about Javon Holland
yeah, that's exciting.
from the Dolphins and the Titans possibly being a spot. So I'm gonna share this video from Ian Rappaport and Cam Wolf talking and see what they have to say about that.
God, that would really sure up that
Mentioned,
secondary, man.
Javon Holland is expected to reach free agency. The Dolphins do have interest, but from what I understand, he's going to have a very fruitful market. Talking to people in Indy, and even through the last few days, he's expected to eclipse $15 million a year, and maybe even close to $20 million a year. And that may be something that's a little rich for the Dolphins' blood. So, we'll keep
It's
an
a
eye
lot of
on how
money,
that
but
evolves in the days ahead. But a couple of teams, the Titans, the Panthers, I heard, are in the mix potentially for him. And so if he does indeed leave, that would leave the Dolphins trying to find potentially two new safeties to replace in that realm. Jordan Poyer is also a free agent, not expected to return at this stage. So that's one thing for them. The other big headline for them this offseason is Tyreek Hill. And we learned
so definitely interesting. I mean, that price is pretty up there for sure. But I mean, Javon Holland talking about sharing up a secondary. That would come out Holland, Hooker, Sneed,
Yeah, Hooker
McCreary,
being a little bit older
Awuzie,
veteran, you could, yeah.
Brownlee. Yeah.
hmm And I've got, yeah, we love what we saw from Brownlee, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just that whole McCreary being one of the most underrated guys in the league. I mean, it's just adding him to all of that would be wonderful. So I was tickled to hear that news. So I'm hoping something maybe can come to fruition with that.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
I missed the number. What number did he say there? I missed.
For
What
money,
is it? Yeah, yeah,
15 to 20 million.
50. Yeah, see, I'm okay with that though. To get a guy like that, and he didn't have a great season last year comparatively to other seasons, but the Dolphins as a whole were a wreck,
Yeah.
on
Absolutely.
defense. So um, that could be said for the entire Dolphins team, and he had a change in coordinator too there as well.
Yeah.
So and some people call those excuses and stuff, but it matters.
I think it's a
But
big deal.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, and a guy like Javon Holland would just, yeah, like we said, would really shore up that secondary. So
Going into free agent, I want to throw a few names at you, if you don't mind, different positions, and see how you feel about them. What do you think?
okay.
I just want to. So Chris Godwin, I like Chris Godwin. He's coming off that dislocated ankle, but
Yeah,
when he played this year, 52 catchable targets guy had, didn't drop a single one. He's been a stud for Tampa Bay the whole time.
yeah,
With coming off the injury, potentially a really good could come not like cheap, but like cheaper than he would have if he stayed healthy all season
right,
for the Bucks.
right.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I would love something like that. It's just, I guess stuff like that makes me nervous with wide receivers, right? Like, we don't have a good track record there, and I hate to bring that up, but it is true. You know,
He's
a guy
21
like
years
Tyler,
old, so
a guy like Tyler Boyd was almost non-existent last year. You know,
yeah.
um, um, it's just we got to if we can have somebody that'll get him the ball, absolutely.
All right, I got another name for you.
It's
So,
hard to throw another wide receiver at Will Levis. You know what I'm saying?
well, in this year, you're probably drafting Cameron Shador.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Cameron Shador. Yeah, absolutely. I like a guy like Chris Godwin.
So there's been talk that the Titans are willing to move J.C. Latham from left to right tackle if the right
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah. I've
And
seen.
then Cam Robinson,
Yeah.
longtime left tackle, had a
I was
great.
going to bring this up on a previous episode, actually. Not, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks ago when we kind of started back, because I had seen kind of discussion about that a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm okay with it if the right, like you say, if the right guy comes in. Anything to shore up the line, because I think Latham's proven he's diverse
Mhm.
enough to go back and forth. If you wouldn't need him to go right, I think he's going to be fine at the right.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
Cam Robinson had a 70.4 PFF grade for pass blocking last year.
yeah,
He allowed 7 sacks and 7 hits. So, I mean, that sounds like a game for
yeah,
MPF. So,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really though. I mean, yeah, if the right guy comes in, that'd be great. Anything to shore up the line, anything that's going to improve the trenches there on both sides, man. We got to get that edge and we got to get that line shored up. A lot of holes on this offense, and
I got
because I don't want to go drafting a right tackle.
3 more for you. 2 are edges. Okay.
Okay,
So I know you're not really high on Josh Sweat because for the money he's going to demand.
for the money, right? It just feels like it would be Bud Dupree all over again, maybe, or it'd be just the same as like maybe what we're paying a Harold Landry right now.
Okay. Hassan Reddick, because I think with all the holdouts,
I like Hassan Reddick. A lot of people are out on him from some of the drama last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is, and I hate petty drama like that off the field, but what is he, 30 years old now?
Hassan,
Yeah.
he's not that old. I think he's
Is he not? I could
27,
be.
28. Oh, he is 30. You're right. Yeah, he's 30.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess it all just depends. I mean, I like Hassan Riddick. I am a guy that was kind of hoping maybe last year they'd find a way to get him here when there was talks about him. But
Yeah.
some people are out on him on the drama. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think as far as like edge rush, I'm more about. I think we could find something in the draft.
It is a deep draft for edges.
Yeah, it's a nice class for.
But if you're
for
getting
edge
rid of
rush.
Landry, you're really needing 2 guys now.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get into. But like, I think it's also possible Landry goes out there. He's not going to find a trade, I don't think, for the amount of money that he's being paid.
No. It'd be something like possibly a Christian. I don't. God, you got to demand more than Christian Kirk. Though.
I mean, it's possible. I think that he comes back and restructures the deal. You know what I mean? It's
definitely a possibility.
If Landry comes back and agrees to take a pay cut,
mm-hmm.
then I'm still okay with making a move for one of these guys. I don't think I want Josh Sweat at the price that would be.
Yeah, he's gonna get like 30 million.
Um,
So
Eddie says no.
another edge. Need more like an edge too, so you still have to go get another guy. But Chase Young,
Yeah, I like Chase Young. I like a Chase Young as well.
66 is his pass rush grade for PFF. He had 66 pressures. Okay. He had a pressure rate of 14.6%. That's not bad.
Yeah,
He's not the guy who we thought he was going to be coming out, but he's still, I think, a high end number 2 edge rusher.
yeah.
He could definitely be something great. So I thought that was interesting too. I like Chase Young at the right price because he did a
Yeah,
pretty
and
good
you can
deal
see a
last year.
combination of both, man. You can see like a move in free agency, and then just someone in the later round, maybe second round, fourth round, or something. Edge rush add to the. But I think I'm also out on guys like Khalil Mack or
Oh
Joey
yeah,
Bosa.
those
I
definitely
think
not
those
Joey
guys are.
Bosa.
Yeah, those guys are pieces that might be there for a team that's close to a championship. Maybe they need to go to a team that needs a piece on defense. They'll kind of just put them over the hump. Those guys are aging veterans. That can still be productive on a small scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, so yeah, I don't know. I'm more sold on draft picks for the edge rush for sure. But I think I'm like you, especially if Landry is going to be gone. Which by this time next week, the Titans may be cut by the time we
Record next
put
week.
this
Yeah,
out. Yeah, it could be tomorrow. He gets cut for all we know.
just to put it in reference, we're going to talk more about cut keep later, but just for reference, if Harold Landry got cut with a post June 1st designation, that doesn't mean you can't cut him until June 1st. It doesn't mean the caps you designated him 17.5 million you're saving.
Yeah,
So, and if you cut him pre June 1st, you only save 10. So, and you take on 13 million of dead cap. Don't love that. One more I want to throw at you. Dre Greenlaw. And some people say inside linebacker is not a position I need. Some people do. One of the best in the league before he got hurt in that Super Bowl. Not this last year, the year before. And then he was pretty much out all this season. He played like, I don't know, like a game, like 30 snaps or something like that. He's only 27, was one of the best in the league. What do you think about that?
I
Young,
think I'm
probably
out
cheap,
on that.
pretty cheap. Coming off the injury, possibly not. Like I said, not.
Maybe at the right price, yeah, you could bring it in for a little bit of depth. But I'm more of the mindset that you prefaced it with. I don't think ILB is a huge need. There's other greater needs.
I think it all depends on how much you believe in Cedric Gray, and the coaching staff would know that, right?
Cedric
Like,
Gray, yeah, yeah.
um,
The linebackers are interesting this year because help me out with the young man that got hurt in the last preseason game. I can't say his name right now off
Chance
the top.
Campbell.
Chance Campbell, yeah.
Mhm.
I would really love to see someone like that as well come in and get a chance to maybe because he was lighting it up last year. I
Yeah,
really hate what happened to that kid because I think he had earned himself a spot.
yeah, for sure. Sorry, I went off track a little bit right there. I just
No, that's fine. Yeah, but I am of the mindset like I'm not really eyeing inside linebackers or cornerbacks too much right now. I think it's a waste of time to even discuss cornerbacks for the Titans.
I'll save that for my final bite. That's something I was going to say, but I'm going to give it to you in my final bite.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Yeah. I actually hadn't came up with one yet, so I needed one. So I'll just save that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a prediction. That is a spoiler.
Oh, Heyman guy. All right. A lot of talk has been about will the Titans trade the first overall pick? And I don't think we really know the answer to that till free agency starts and we see what happens. But we had a video here. Chris Sims talking
Should we
about
cue the video up, Eddie? Eddie says yes.
Well, if Eddie
Eddie
says
says
yes, you know we're
yes.
going to do it. All right.
Yeah.
There is
Oh man, It's
The Tennessee
45-30.
Titans are drawing interest.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Who's winning?
45-30 Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. Oh, Tennessee's winning.
Okay.
National championship, baby.
For the
Video-
number one
video game.
overall pick, and those reports are coming from inside the Tennessee Titans building, potentially. But who knows? Who knows what will happen there? So DraftKings has the odds. Who will make that number one overall pick? DraftKings currently, at least, does not believe the reports. They have the Titans as the odds-on favorite, minus 280 to make that number one pick. But you got the Raiders there lurking, Jaguars lurking. Raiders, a team that need a quarterback. Giants fourth at plus 550. So. Yeah, did you hear anything about the Titans? And
No, I get the sense that it's early here. It's early. Everybody's still doing their homework, trying to figure this out, figuring out how to stack their board. I would think that option's on the floor or on the table for the Titans. Definitely.
Could be on the floor too.
It could be on the floor too. Exactly right. But I mean, this could be a thing where, hey, yeah, one of these teams wants to make sure they get an Abdul Carter or somebody else high in the draft. They want to secure that.
Yeah.
They can get extra picks to build their football
Someone's
team.
coming up.
They might be able to deem the value of the two quarterbacks and trade to a certain spot and go, yeah, we think one of these two will still be here at 7 or 8 or something of that, right?
Yeah.
Right. To where then they could go, wait, we could pick him there and then have maybe another first round pick and another second round pick in this draft, right? Those are the type of things that they got to figure out. And that again, this is where hopefully as I evaluate and start to see the value of these guys and how damn good they are, hopefully I can clear up some of these conversations too as we go forward.
Well, that's what was curious to me is I don't know if it's more likely or less likely the pick gets traded because we have a draft this year where it doesn't seem like there's going to be a consensus slam dunk. He's one overall generational talent type player.
I know.
Right. So, but when there is that, the team is less likely to trade that pick.
Yes.
So there isn't that. But then that also means that other teams may not be as aggressive in trying to get the number one pick.
Like, yeah, right. Like, if there's not that number one guy, like we've talked about, like just in my early phases, and I talked to Connor, but
that's a pretty good point, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's like that guy this year, huh? Like it's very up in the air, right? Nobody really can predict what's going to actually. It's not like it has been in previous years, I mean, everybody was pretty sure last year, right, with Caleb that was the pick.
Yeah, you're talking about for 2 years. He was going to be the guy.
Some teams could be more sure than you think, though, is what I was going to say, though. This is just what people,
That's what I was saying. Like, him to say, oh, they're going to trade him to go get Abdul Carter. I mean, I guess if you think the Browns are going for him, you really want him. But if someone's coming up to number one, they're coming up to get a quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. And
you're going to pay that.
It's also like we talked about last week too, though. Like these, I think the Titans have it down to like their two guys, maybe.
I think it's Well, so with
maybe three.
I
don't know why balloons just went crazy on my screen.
3 guys.
What did you do?
I didn't touch anything. That's hilarious. They're having the big four are all in on visits coming up. So today, we're Thursday, by the way. Today was Abdul Carter came to visit.
Yeah.
His 30th visit. Tomorrow, when we release, Cam Ward will be in town for the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, I think he's flying in Sunday night. Shador Sanders is going to be here. And then Travis Hunter is a little bit later down the road because I think he had some scheduling issues and stuff.
I was going to say scheduling, yeah.
But I mean, those are the 4. Obviously, if you're sticking and picking, which I would say 3 if you're sticking and picking, just because I don't think you take Travis Hunter number 1 overall.
Yeah, I think Travis Hunter can be eliminated, but it's just like some of the clues we were kind of, and obviously we're doing the same thing that we're kind of telling everybody to kind of heed, not to do, heed expectations or like watch. Yeah, but I do think that they probably have it down to those 3, maybe, if not 2.
Reckless speculation. But I would agree. If you're sticking and picking at 1, it's one of the 3, and I would venture to say if you're sticking and picking at 1, it's one of the 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just with it being such a deep draft with edge rush.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could just it's not. I feel like the Titans might be in on the quarterback, man. The more and more I think about it, man, I'm thinking one of those two guys might be the guy, man.
I can't remember who it was, and I think it was an ESPN guy. He had a mock draft come out today, and he had Shador going to the Titans, Cam Ward going to the Browns, and the Giants selecting Jackson Dart third overall.
No way. There's some wild stuff out there, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into some of that with my final bite too. I'm gonna save mine that I saw out there, but yeah. I guess onward here. I wanted to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. So we're gonna get back to the rest of this video.
This when I was cheating on you at the combine last week on Wednesday was the fact that the other defensive ends are so good, in my opinion. I do think hurts Abdul Carter's chances of being number one. And it hurts the
bingo
you're talking about.
I just said it.
Oh yeah, we need a pass rusher, but okay, Abdul Carter is the top one, but James Pierce, Shamar Stewart, and the kid
I would love
Marshall,
a James Pierce.
We have a grade that's like just a tick below them, right?
Yeah,
people say he's
got
going to drop
a 7.0 and they got a 6.98, right? And so therefore, teams that are
I just want to talk about James Pierce for a second because we just brought him up. Before, if you looked at like preseason mock drafts, which I'm crazy, so I do that. James Pierce was considered. This guy's gonna be first overall. He's the dude. Like he's gonna go.
Yeah, I've seen him projected in the first round in a lot of mock drafts.
Well, preseason, like before the season last year, I didn't see him lower than fifth. Now he didn't have the season. That they were expecting, but I do know for who live in Tennessee. I'm not a UT fan. Listening to the radio in Tennessee, you get a lot of Vols news. That they just do a lot of rotations on that defensive line. They rotate like 6, 7, 8 guys in and out all the time. So the snap.
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say. It's deep on that line too, man. It's a lot of good players too.
Yeah,
Tennessee defense was really good. So he was sharing the wealth on that a lot of times too, because he was probably getting some doubles and stuff. And I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with, man. He had a good season, man. I like the way he plays, man. I watched a lot of UT games this year, and I love a James Pierce.
Obviously, he had a decent combine. The only thing I think the worst part about his combine was his vertical wasn't great, but like other than that, he looked like an athletic freak. He ran like a 4.48 or whatever it was for a defensive end, which is wild. But I did see like other than his combine that he's been falling down some draft boards, and I don't know that. I think maybe does he really love the game or something like that? I don't know. You always hear people one of these like non-football things that go into drafting. I don't know. But I mean, if it were to happen and he were to fall to the second, snatch him up as fast as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I love a James Pierce, man.
And that's coming from a Vanderbilt fan. So,
hey, man, I'm one of those weird ones that likes them both.
We're not here to talk about that.
Yeah, I catch hell from both sides, man. It's okay.
Or maybe
I support all Tennessee things, man.
Or whatever else, they're going to go, we're not trading all these picks just to get that guy. We barely think he's better than the other three behind him, right? And that hurts that. So that's another thing. Again, early phases, but I watched like 15 to 20 plays of all the top guys. And damn, I was impressed by the DNs. Like, damn. Like, they're... Damn. And I know we're going to talk about combine stuff here, but some of those guys helped themselves and they solidified that they are the freaks that they are, and that they're like going first round, and they're going to be some of the top people in this draft. That's for sure.
Yeah, top half of the first round.
Exactly.
With some of those guys. At DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one sportsbook for live betting. New customers can.
All right. We're not doing advertising. We're not getting paid.
No.
But yeah, I mean, which is funny because they showed the odds there, and I should have looked and seen how long ago that was recorded, because this one that just came out, because there's been a lot of, especially with the Giants, that's been the most news coming out about team to pick first has been the Giants trading up. So I'm going to share this other video, and just on the loading screen, you can see where it has the odds even.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for here. Yeah, that kind of threw me off a little bit. Actually, I didn't realize.
There's two different videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one.
This is what I had seen earlier. Yeah.
Man, you could win some money if you put some money on the Seahawks and they were to pick first. All right.
Wouldn't that be wild, man? Gee, bus.
The Titans and the Giants have the best odds right now to have the first pick in the draft. That would mean the Giants and the Titans at some point will do a trade that will put the Giants at number 1 and the Titans at number 3. And
Real quick pause. So they backed off the Raiders a little bit, huh? Like,
they were like, what,
I know
380
that people were hot on the Raiders coming up for Shador Sanders there.
a lot on like it's hard to do with like odds because a lot of it has to do with just how much money's coming in.
Yeah, sure.
So if a ton of money was like they heard the rumors, the Giants, this is for sure happening, and then a boatload of people wouldn't just put money on the Giants, it's gonna bring those odds down, So I mean a lot of it could be news, a lot of it could just be money. But it is interesting that how much it's shifted.
Yeah. I would think that the Raiders might be a little higher considering all the talk that there's been about them
You would
trading up.
think higher than
Them and the Giants have been the two that I've heard like the most talk about in mainstream sports media.
The Browns is the craziest one to me to be that high.
Yeah,
because they're really going to trade up from 2 to 1. I mean, the only way you're doing that
I don't
is
understand that one. Yeah,
if you want Cam Ward.
Yeah. If there's one
and the
guy,
Titans are like, I'm going to take Cam Ward,
yeah,
but I'm okay with Shador more than you say. But the
Yeah,
Giants
right.
really want Cam Ward. So if you want to get Cam Ward, you better swap with us.
right.
So to keep them from coming up and give us something,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. That's interesting.
I would just expect. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I would expect the Raiders to be in that third spot.
And I think the Jets. I thought they would be a little higher too, because those are the Giants, Jets, and Raiders have been with all the rumors have been about.
Yeah.
Three. So, but let's see what they say about it.
Onward.
The reality
What?
I just said onward.
Oh, I think so. Hold on.
that the Giants need a quarterback.
Shout out
this
Theo
trade
Vaughn.
would be for the Giants to go up and get Cam Ward. Meanwhile, the Giants are the favorites to sign Aaron Rodgers.
That's crazy.
I don't think they're going to have both, Chris.
I don't, but I think that's where we are in the public.
Same
in the
guy
world of
talking
football
too. I
right
think he has
now,
the
where
same
it's like,
shirt
what
on.
the hell are the Giants going to do? We don't know. We have no idea.
Definitely same
That's the
haircut.
state of our franchise, unfortunately.
Why is he
Definitely
having
the
that top
same.
button?
But there was talk in
Glee.
league circles towards the end of the
Fucking
season that the Giants did like Cam Ward, right? Cam Ward's a pretty damn good player. As I told you a little while ago, I think mostly viewed as clearly the number 1 quarterback, right, in the draft. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, if the Giants don't get an Aaron Rodgers or a veteran player they feel comfortable for, then maybe it comes for, well, let's look for the future. Let's make a move. Let's get this guy and start a new era, the Cam Ward era. I'll be interested. It's going to be an interesting year. And then the Tennessee Titans, on the other hand, right, we've talked about them, and the Giants are kind of in the same boat. Do you want to go rookie quarterback and go through those bumps where you could get fired after all of this if it doesn't work well with that rookie quarterback?
It's a point we made earlier in the week. When you have Joe Shane, the GM, and Brian Daboll, the head coach, getting another year, and John Mara, the owner, saying, I've just about run out of patience, you create an environment where Shane and Daboll are going to be inclined to do everything they can to win now.
Yes.
So they're going to evaluate young quarterbacks differently.
Exactly.
Than if they knew they had. It's going to be subconscious.
Right.
If they knew they had 3, 4, 5 years.
So he's saying that. I like that, and I think it's definitely true because Daboll.
I think that's a good point.
They're in the last year. If they don't do something, if they don't like double their wins, they're out. Because I think Daboll's a good coach. But the Titans decided to trade back? Could they play into that and get more out of them?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. And I've seen so many different trade possibilities.
Yeah. I got a big one. I'm saving a big one.
Definitely not doing it unless I get there first next year. And maybe if you get there first next year, you're probably not getting their second. You're probably getting their third this year. I've seen something that says, "Hey, we'll do all these picks, but we also want to give you Harold Landry and you give us Kayvon Thibodeau,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
who hasn't lived up to hype, but cheaper, probably the same, similar production and a lot cheaper." So I don't know. I mean, a lot to talk about, a lot to see what happens.
A lot to talk about. A lot of dominoes to fall.
Yeah, but I just think that's definitely could play into the fact, like, we'll give you the, we need that pick. We need Cam Ward,
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Maybe we feel differently about a young quarterback, but we got to win now. We're not going to be here when Cam Ward reaches his full potential. We're going to be gone. And that just adds to the dysfunction of the Giants. And the Giants fall into that category right now, despite the fact that they've somehow won 2 Super Bowls since 2007.
Sorry, I just got to point this out because this is typical national media. What logo is on that screen?
Titans. Yeah, I know.
They
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about the whole time.
The Giants. Yeah. I know, man. Yeah, there ain't no love up there for the Tennessee Titans, man. I get it. Trust me.
More
Everybody
often than
always
not,
got something to
it
say.
hasn't been good, and it was 3-14.
The media ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows what the Giants are going to do, and I don't think they know what they're going to do.
No, I don't either.
I don't think
it's
you
still
know what
early
you're
in the
going to do.
process here, and they're probably gathering information, maybe gauging Aaron Rodgers' interest in doing that, and still trying to figure out Cam Ward and if they really want to invest in that. So, hopefully we'll have a few warnings or telltale signs here in the next few weeks.
That's typical, though. You're right, though. It's like, dude, everything that they say about, like, it's like I said a couple episodes ago. Everything that they say about, like, the Raiders and the Giants as far as the quarterback situation and stuff, it could be said about the Titans.
Yeah.
But they'll say, well, they're not a quarterback away, so they really got to take Abdul Carter. They're not a quarterback away, man. Well, neither are the Giants. The Giants aren't a quarterback away either, and neither are the Raiders.
No. To be fair, the Giants.
You just like that. Admit it. You just like the idea of Shedeur Sanders being on the Raiders or the Giants. You like the idea of Cam Ward being in the big market with the Giants in New York or being in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I get it. Just call a spade a spade.
All right. So I want to play a game with you. Now that we've gotten through a lot of and a game today on Titans Table for 2 is cut or keep. I got 5 players. I'm gonna name off for you. Okay. You tell me. I'm gonna tell you who it is, give you their cap number, and what we would save by cutting them. Okay. And you tell me if you think we should cut them.
You're playing too?
I'm gonna say it too. I'm gonna go to you, then I'll give my opinion too. All right. First on the list is Kenneth Murray. We cut him.
Cut.
Okay, you say 7.6 million. It was a 2.
You save the money, and I think we're fairly deep at that position. There's some young talent there. I say cut Kenneth Murray. He had a good season for us, and I appreciate the year here.
Yeah.
I think he was pretty productive. He was, he had some games where he was a really a shining speck in a really dark room, cave, man.
He had some good
games. Of those games,
some bad
man.
ones, but overall,
had some bad ones, but
yeah. So his cap number.
That's about what you expect from him, though. That's about what you expected bringing him in. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$10 million cap number, 2.5 dead, 7.6. At that number, I'm in the same boat. Cut him.
Yeah.
If they ended up keeping him, I wouldn't be mad, but I'd lean more to the cut list just because of Cedric Gray and Chance Campbell coming back. Hopefully, you can bring back Gibbon. So, second, Arden Key. 9.25 million cap hit, 6.9 dead, 2.3 savings. Now, if you cut them after June 1st, but you only get one post June 1st designation, so this is hard because the most savings is cutting Harold post June 1st. But if you did do a post June 1st cut, you would get 6.9 in savings and only 2.3 in dead money.
I mean, that's a tough one because of the position, right? The position that it is and stuff.
He can't be your number 2.
Yeah, he can't. And that's a tough one because of the Harold Landry situation and the position and everything. So
if you were able
I'd almost just say keep because of what's going on with Harold Landry, and then see what we can't do in free agency in the draft. Obviously, we've mentioned enough that we like the draft for that position. Arden Key, man, that's a tough one. But I don't like the number. I don't like the
number either. But if you can trade Landry somehow, even if it's like I said, a 7th round pick, and you did trade him just to get out from the cap, then I'd cut him with a post June 1st. No problem.
Yeah. It's just that's one of those things that kind of hinders on a few other things that are going on right now currently with the Titans, like the Landry situation.
Next
Um,
one is Harold Landry. If we can't find a trade partner, are you wanting to cut him?
Yeah, I think you cut him unless he, agrees to a pay cut. Barring something like that.
It's kind of hard not to. I mean, he's not worth the 17.5 you would save.
Yeah, I've enjoyed his time here. He's one of my favorite current Titans. Because he's another bright spot in a lot of dark times. At times, he's been really productive a lot of times, but then also it's just been kind of mediocre considering the number he's getting paid. But he's had some flashes of really good times, man. So I kind of hate to say it, but yeah, I cut him.
All right, I got a really easy one and a real hard one to end it. The easiest one, NPF. You cut him, you save 3.4 million if you cut him.
Oh man, I'm inducting NPF into the damn Titan Circle of Fame or whatever the heck they call it. I'm retiring his jersey, man.
Just
because I don't ever want to see the dang thing again.
Yeah. I'm packing his bags. I'm buying his plane ticket.
No offense, man. I'll be surprised if the cat finds a daggum job, man. I'm being out in the
He'll go
heck,
somewhere. He just had
good grief.
Nah, listen to the whole because this one's you're like as soon as I say you're like no, but listen to the cap numbers just because. Amani Hooker. You would save 8.8 million if you cut him with only 2.5 in dead money.
Well, so this would also hinder on something we talked about today. That makes that decision's a whole lot easier, right? If something works out with a Javon Holland, right?
Yeah, but then you're down two safety. Like if you get Javon Holland, you still got to go get another safety. But could you find a cheaper option?
That's
Amani
what I'm saying.
Hooker has been one of the most steady players on the defense for a while now. I love Amani. To me, it's a keep.
Yeah, I think if especially if you can bring a guy in, man, that just shores up your backfield even more, man. Like or your secondary, excuse me. It just I'm
Once
okay if
again,
they keep him. I understand if they make room. I guess I'm more on the side of keep. I guess.
Yeah, that's where I land too. I'm more on the side of keep for sure.
I mean, you certainly don't make that move if you're not making any other moves to bring other people in. I don't.
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I agree.
So,
but that mean I guess that brings us to our final bite for the show. Unless you have anything else you want to bring up before.
no, that's it for me. I think we've covered most of it today, man.
All right,
A
so
lot of news to come this next week. I predict we have a big news week next time by the time we record.
Our final bite. What you got for me?
All right, mine is just for some of the we talked about it today. Some of these crazy trade predictions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna source who it was or anything necessarily, but I saw like 4 or 5 articles on this one prediction alone. And I was like, wait, is this like some news? And then I started to see that it was this crazy chain of articles about this one prediction. But it's just like I don't know. I guess for fans and people to just kind of watch out for that kind of stuff. Fool's gold out there for trade and draft talk. But I saw an article that predicting Brock Purdy to be traded to the Titans for the number 1 overall pick. and I saw multiple articles on this, and I to the point where I was like, wait, what is this that I'm seeing here? What are you talking about? And yeah, it's kind of wild some of the predictions that are made out there because that one was craziest one I think I've seen. Since the off season began, I couldn't believe my eyes. So I thought that was pretty ridiculous, man. So I don't know where I don't know if people put it out there for clickbait or what, but
It's news dumps like false news season and click
no,
season and idea season and guess what I heard season.
no.
So
I'm not kidding though. Like 4 articles on that. I was like,
all it takes is one person to say it, and all of a sudden, every little like blog and.
Yeah.
All right, my final bite is free agency starting up. And the Titans came out when they first hired Borgonzi and everything and said, we're going to be more selective in the free agents we choose. And I think people took that as we're not going to go spend any money, which isn't the case. You have to spend the money. It's not, you can't just keep letting it
Right.
stack up. You have to spend a certain amount for one. Two,
Yeah.
like they're saying we're going to be more selective. So we're going to do our due diligence and make sure we get players that fit our scheme, get the right attitude, that, love football, team players, all that, jazz. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to expect them to go sign the biggest name free agents this thing, but I'm saying expect them to do their due diligence and not just go kind of throw cash around like we did last season. And I mean, we got some decent pieces out of it or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean we're not going to spend money. We're going to
Right.
going to sign some players. When we come back on here and record next Thursday, we're going to be talking about some players that we signed for sure. So
Yeah,
that's my
it's not
final
going to
thought.
be like last year either, man. Last year was just a unique season, man. We're not going to see the kind of moves I don't think like we did last year. And I'm like you, like I said, I'm like you said, I'm not mad about those moves or anything either. We got some good stuff. Cushionberry, Ridley,
Yeah, I think
really good
Calvin's a
stuff out of that.
good receiver. I think
Snead was a good one. So we've got some great things out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's just not going to be like last off season. It's not going to be the same
No, but
story this year.
you're going to have to spend some money. Some people think we're not going to spend any at all, but you're going to spend some. There's going to be
Yeah, they're
players
talking
brought
about
in.
it now, man. Javon Holland, big news today. So that's good.
Selected doesn't mean not spending; it means the right ones.
Right, right.
So, but yeah, I mean, we'll get back with you guys next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Hit the alert button so you know when we're coming around. Once again, part of the CPN network, so check out everything going on over there. We've done a couple episodes of the AFC South show with the guys and the teams of the other AFC South teams. It's been a good time over there.
Yep.
And on that
You
note,
got everything you want. They got wrestling over there too, if you want it. So definitely check out CPN, Curtis Podcast Network. So
on all platforms. And on that note, check please. If Javon Holland gets that payday, he's buying dinner.
yeah, sounds about right, man.
All right, tighten up, guys.
One day